Shakespearean Sonnets, number 1. From fairest creatures we desire increase, that thereby beauty's rose might never die. But as the ripper should by time decrease, his tender heir might bear his memory. But thou, contracted to thine own bright eyes, feedest thy light's flame with self-substantial fuel, making a famine where abundance lies, thyself thy foe, to thy sweet self too cruel. Thou art now the world's fresh ornament, and only herald to the gaudy spring. Within thine own bud buriest thy content, and, tender churl, mak'st waste in niggarding. Pity the world, or else this glutton be, to eat the world's due, by the grave and thee. Now, to interpret literally, we'll go line by line. From fairest creatures we desire increase. Obviously, the propagation of beautiful things, that thereby beauty's rose might never die, is a continuation of that idea. But as the ripper should by time decrease, obviously referring to the grim reaper, his tender heir might bear his memory. Talking about recalling what has once been. But thou, contracted to thine own bright eyes, feedest thy light's flame with self-substantial fuel. It would seem to indicate that, despite personal observations, that it seems to be people are looking for something of value to them, regardless of what it is. Making a famine where abundance lies, thyself thy foe, to the sweet self too cruel. And I think it's more of a referral to starving oneself in terms of getting what you want versus what you need, and to the sweet self too cruel. Just kind of people punishing themselves, trying to push themselves harder to acquire what they want, it seems like to me. Thou that art now the world's fresh ornament, and only herald to the gaudy spring, within thine own bud buriest thy content, and tender churl mak'st waste in niggarding. I think it has more to do with the fact that they're talking, or rather Shakespeare is talking about, as much as people try to improve themselves, they're always grappling with the limits of their own abilities and their own energy, and even beyond that, their own capabilities. And and finally, pity the world, or else this glutton be, to eat the world's due by the grave in thee. And of course, ending with mention of the grave to communicate the fact that no matter how far people get, or what they accomplish, or what they do not accomplish, that the end of the road seems to be the same for everyone, regardless of what their lot is in life. Now, in terms of interpretation, I'm detecting a very kind of a running theme of self-torment here. It seems like Shakespeare is trying to communicate the idea that as hard as people try, they seem to push themselves to the extent that they don't really understand how much it wastes away at them. Like he talks about, to thy sweet self too cruel, to eat the world's due by the grave in thee. I mean, it just seems to be nodding towards the fact that people are just striving so hard, and it isn't like their quest is not noble. It's just, I think he's trying to point out that people should think more about what they're actually trying to do versus how hard they're doing whatever they are doing. At least that's my interpretation, is to try to look at it as something, as life's journey as being more abstract, and that people pretty much create a purpose, create a meaning, and that that meaning itself should be questioned rather than just accepting things for what they are and continuing on trying hard at something that you realize is actually a gigantic waste of time versus what you want, or what you really want anyway. I don't know. It's interesting, I think. So, alright, that'll be my first bout of interpretation. I'll probably do more soon. I hope everyone's enjoyed it, and of course, if they have thoughts on it as well, please comment, and that sounds great. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.